Jim Nicholson was born to a modest farming family from Iowa in 1938.
Growing up with Jim was fun because he was a good guy and he was spunky. He always worked hard. He had 1 or 2 jobs, sometimes 3, and he saved his money. And if anybody ever needed anything, Jim would provide it for him. And he only asked one thing: don't tell anybody. Jim was a guest up at West Point while I was still a cadet. And some of the officers on the faculty met him. And they said to me, "You're getting your brother to come to West Point, aren't you?" A month later, he was a cadet. He appreciated West Point. He is one of the guys that believed in the saying, "There's more there than you can carry away." So Jim graduated from West Point, and then the Army cut orders to send Jim to Paris, France. The next week, he went into his headquarters and said he wanted to go to Vietnam, not Paris. And they said, "Get out of here. You're a young man, you're a bachelor, you're on orders to Paris, France, and you want to go to Vietnam that stinks and it's noisy and loud and dangerous?" Jim said, "I went to West Point. That's what they train people there to do." He said, "It's my duty."
After a tour in Vietnam and 10 years of military service, Jim earned a master's degree from Columbia University and a law degree from the University of Denver. He then established a successful career in law and property development. At his core, though, Jim always felt called to serve.
Jim Nicholson was the head of Renaissance Homes, which was a very well-respected building and contractor in the area, and had a lot of connections that he was more than willing to open his Rolodex for the Volunteers of America and reach out to friends and supporters in support of the organization, and he was always very passionate about it. And when I first asked him if he considered being our board chair, usually I have to go into a lot of discussion with someone because it's a really major commitment. And I'll never forget what Jim said to me. He said, "Diana, I will be your board chair not because it's easy, but because it's hard. And this will be a commitment that I want to make for the organization and for the community." And I always thought that was really pretty special.
Jim has served as the chair of the board at the Daniels Fund for the last couple of years. And he's especially strong as chair of the board because he relates so much on a personal level to many of the funding areas that we work in. And he has great passion and compassion for the people that we serve.
In 2001, not long after the attacks on 9/11, President Bush asked Jim to serve as the U.S. ambassador to the Holy See, and then later as the 5th Secretary of Veterans Affairs.
Jim's very good at telling truth to power, and he tells us truth, and then he helps you. He told the government truth, and then he helped them. Anytime that I personally need somebody to step in and help in a program that is affecting others, you've called Jim.
Jim is one of the all-time great patriots of this country. He truly loves the veterans, and he's done so much to further the cause of veteran hiring. And he's presented me on occasion some of these opportunities, and one of the first was Defenders Lodge, and we built a hotel at the Palo Alto VA Center in California. Veterans who travel a long way were sleeping in their cars because they couldn't afford a motel room in that area. This allows the veterans to come and stay, absolutely no cost to them. Of course, Hire Our Heroes. Jim brought that to me along with Tom. And what we've accomplished at Hire Our Heroes it's unbelievable.
When we started this program, he was phenomenal. He helped us make decisions, he helped us with contacts, he helped us to providing legitimacy to the things we were talking about, and he helped us raise the money to get it going. And we don't talk about that all the time, but we need the money to make it work.
I've had the good fortune of knowing Secretary Nicholson since the days not long after 9/11. And he immediately struck me as a man of great character, great passion, and someone who was committed to serving others. And from my perspective, as a leader, that's who I want to emulate. And Secretary Nicholson has been a tremendous role model for me. He's been a mentor. He continues helping me each and every day as a leader of Hiring Our Heroes. And I've really been honored to know him and to learn from him.
I once asked Jim Nicholson, of all the amazing things he's accomplished in his life, what is he most proud of? And without hesitation, he said, I'm most proud of the fact that I convinced Suzanne to marry me and that she's still married to me 50 years later. And I loved that.
I'd go on, but they're going to cut me off. I just want to say thanks, Jim, for everything you do, and we look forward to seeing a lot more of it.
Congratulations, Secretary Nicholson, on a job well done and an award well deserved.
Congratulations to my friend Jim Nicholson on being honored with the President's Award for Lifetime Achievement from the U.S. Chamber. Jim is a man of honor and integrity, and I was proud to have him in my cabinet. He has dedicated his life to serving our country, and he is totally committed to our veterans. Thank you all for helping our vets continue to serve in new ways as civilians. Laura and I send our best wishes to you and Suzanne. May God bless you all.